Okay, so recently in a live stream, someone brought it to my attention that Hedi Slimane and Celine came out with a bag that looks similar to the original Chanel bag. I mean, at first look, what you would think is Hedi Slimane has run out of ideas and he's just outright copying Chanel at this point. But like I said, when I make fashion opinions, I don't want to make fashion opinions that are uneducated, so I did some digging. So now I'm going to tell you what I've come up with. Now on Celine's Instagram, they have captioned their picture saying, "The monogram sea bag is inspired by 1970s historical Celine closure. The quilted tablet pattern with its square format is also a signature feature from Celine bags of the 1980s. The diamond faceted Triumph chain is a redesign of the chain links that encircle the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, which is the origin of the Triumph House monogram." Now, as much as there's history behind what Hedi Slimane is claiming the Celine bag is, we have to remember that Gabrielle Chanel, also known as Coco Chanel, came up with the design of the Chanel bag with the quilted designs in 1929, and this was inspired by soldier bags at the time during the World War. And this bag was later redesigned in 1955, and that is actually why the bag is called the 2.55, to signify that that's basically the date, and it was made in February 1955. So yes, he's saying the bag was designed in 1979 by Celine, and that's where the original design came from, but the Chanel bag came out a bit earlier than 1979, so still, is Hedi Slimane copying Chanel? Not really, more that Celine copied Chanel a long time ago and now it's just being addressed now. I'm sure if there was a Diet Prada on Instagram in 1979, all of this would have been called out and this wouldn't even be a thing. Now, Chanel have come out saying that their signature quilting was purposely inspired by the jackets worn by male stable hands that Coco was particularly fond of. Also, Chanel's most recent flat bag line, the Boy Bag, was named after and inspired by Coco's longtime lover, polo player Boy Capel. Now, let me be honest, the bag looks exactly the same as the Chanel bag. The only difference is the quilt of the Chanel bag most times is diagonal, and the quilt of the Celine bag is kind of like more rectangular and straight on. But apart from that, it's basically the same thing. Even the logo, although he's saying it's inspired from the 1970s, you can see from the original 2.55 bag that it was kind of the same C logo. And that was the C logo up until Karl Lagerfeld actually changed the design and changed the Chanel logo to more like a logo of two C's opposite each other and conjoined. And that kind of then became the logo that everyone from Chanel recognizes. So to be honest, this is just another one of those cases where I'm saying Hedi Slimane has come to Celine and he's just making everything stale. And once again, I expected better. And I think what really annoys me about this the most is the fact that everyone, including Vogue, is saying that this is a new it bag. But in my opinion, the bag I've seen that I think is more Celine is the 16, and the 16 is what Lady Gaga has been seen wearing all over the place. And the basically Chanel ripoff is not the one. That's why I don't really like Vogue as a fashion source. It's just a bunch of like 80-year-olds writing articles thinking they know what's cool and what's fashionable, but they really don't have a clue. And I think they need to hire younger people, maybe in their 20s or 30s, that actually do have an input on things that actually look, you know, cool past 1965. So yeah, I think Hedi Slimane's onto something with the 16 bag, but with this Chanel ripoff, I'm not a fan. But do I think he outright copied Chanel? Not really. I think maybe, let's give him the benefit of a doubt, he was just thinking of being inspired by the archives of Celine without actually thinking that maybe Celine copied Chanel back then. I mean, at the end of the day, Gabrielle, or as people know, Coco Chanel, designed her bag, her first bag, with the quilted designs in 1929, before it was kind of remade and rehashed in 1955. And I think Celine was only a thing in 1945. So there's no way that Celine did not copy Chanel in that respect, because Chanel was the first time we saw a bag like that in the mainstream. So it's crazy. That's why I always say that everyone's inspired by everyone. Like, I know it's easy to jump on Virgil Abloh and make fun of him, but a lot of well-established brands, a lot of well-established designers in the past and in the present have outright copied or taken inspiration from different designs without credit. So that's basically my opinion on it. In other news, the world's best designer, known as Virgil Abloh, has released and debuted a pop-up store in London with his first collection of Louis Vuitton. And I mean, if I give it a 0.5 out of 10, I think that's too nice. So I'll give it a 0 out of 10. Just because, like I say, Louis Vuitton is a storied brand. There's history behind the brand. When I think of high-end fashion, I think of things that are things with more unique shapes, things you can't just get anywhere. Like, I always tell people why I'm into high-end fashion is because the shapes are so unique. If you're not buying an Issey Miyake pair of pleated trousers, you can't really find that style anywhere else. If you're not getting Andy Millimista boots, you can't really find that anywhere else. But with this Louis Vuitton collection, there's just a bunch of like what I would consider most streetwear brands make, but just with the Louis Vuitton branding. So there's nothing special about it to me. It's wearable, I could wear it, but it's overpriced for what it is. It's dry for what it is, it's boring. It's not what I associate Louis Vuitton with, which has so much history behind it. I think they need to stop with these streetwear designers and actually get a proper designer and reclaim Louis Vuitton as a big powerhouse. And I think LVMH should stop caring about money too much. I feel like if the design starts to get more original, money will come with it. I get it at the end of the day, fashion is a business, but for me, as kind of like a purist, it's kind of painful to see Louis Vuitton basically going under the ground in terms of design integrity, in terms of quality of design, in terms of thought behind collections. It's a mess. It's a mess. So anyway, what do you guys think about this whole thing as a whole? What do you think about Hedi Slimane? Do you think he copied Chanel? I mean, he did say the quilted design is featured from Celine bags in the 1980s, but like I just told you, the Chanel bags with the quilted designs were made in 1955. That's like 25 years before. So in 1980, I believe they copied Chanel, but is Hedi Slimane copying Chanel now when that's already been done? I'm not too sure if you can say that, but obviously he does know that Chanel make bags like that, so I'm not sure if I can give him a pass. What do you think about Virgil Abloh's best collection in worldwide history? And on that note, I'm out. Subscribe to the channel if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you like fashion videos. That's what I make here. Like this video and stay tuned for more.